Jeffrey Epstein, a name that sent shockwaves across the world. A financier, a socialite, and a man surrounded by secrecy and power. His connections spanned Wall Street, Hollywood, and even the halls of politics. But behind the luxury and influence, a darker story unfolded. A story of allegations, mystery, and controversy that would captivate the globe. In the next few minutes, we will explore the life, crimes, and legacy of Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was born on January 20th, 1953, in Brooklyn, New York. From modest beginnings, he demonstrated an early aptitude for mathematics and science. After attending local schools, he briefly studied at Cooper Union before transferring to New York University. Though he never completed his degree, Epstein's charm and intellect helped him secure positions at some of the most prestigious financial firms. He started as a teacher, but quickly moved into finance, working his way into the world of investment banking and wealth management. It was during these formative years that Epstein built the foundation for what would become a vast and controversial empire. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, Epstein had firmly established himself in the world of finance. He cultivated connections with some of the wealthiest and most influential people on the planet. From Wall Street executives to Hollywood stars, Epstein's network seemed limitless. He became known not only for his financial acumen, but also for his ability to connect the powerful and the elite. Jets, private islands, luxury properties, Epstein's life was a testament to influence, wealth, and secrecy. But behind the glamorous facade, troubling whispers began to surface, hinting at a darker side to his empire. By the 1990s, allegations of sexual abuse and misconduct began to emerge against Jeffrey Epstein. Accusations from multiple young women painted a disturbing picture of exploitation and manipulation. Despite these claims, Epstein's connections and resources allowed him to navigate the legal system with remarkable resilience. Investigations continued over the years, revealing a network of enablers, secretive operations, and complex legal settlements. Victims came forward, sharing harrowing testimonies, demanding justice and accountability. The world started to see the stark contrast between Epstein's public persona and the dark reality that lay beneath. In July 2019, Jeffrey Epstein, a financier known for his immense wealth and high-profile connections, faced serious criminal allegations that would draw global attention and dominate headlines for weeks. For decades, Epstein had maintained a life of luxury, surrounded by power, influence, and secrecy. Yet these allegations revealed a darker, more controversial side of his life, one that many had whispered about but few had fully understood. When authorities moved to arrest him, the world watched closely, eager to see how a man so deeply embedded in elite circles would navigate the legal system. The arrest itself was a spectacle. Federal agents arriving at his residences, media cameras capturing the moment, and public debates igniting over what the implications could be for other influential individuals connected to him. Epstein was subsequently held at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York, a facility designed for high-security detainees. However, the conditions of his detention quickly became a topic of concern and scrutiny. Reports emerged of irregularities in security protocols, lapses in monitoring, and even malfunctions in surveillance systems. These failures raised serious questions about oversight, responsibility, and how the legal system treats individuals with significant wealth and influence. The public's curiosity grew, and theories about the circumstances surrounding his detention began circulating widely. On August 10, 2019, Epstein was found dead in his cell. The death was officially ruled as suicide, yet the circumstances surrounding his passing fueled extensive discussion and speculation around the world. Experts, journalists, and ordinary citizens questioned how such a high-profile individual, under federal supervision and facing intense legal scrutiny, could die under these conditions. The news triggered a complex mix of reactions: shock, disbelief, anger, and concern. People debated whether justice had truly been served and whether the legal system had done enough to ensure accountability. Even for those unfamiliar with the details of Epstein's life, the story became a symbol of the tension between privilege, influence, and the pursuit of justice. While official statements focused on procedural facts, the broader conversation expanded to include societal issues: the power dynamics that allow certain individuals to avoid scrutiny for years, the responsibilities of those who manage high-security detention, and the role of media in shaping public perception. Through it all, Epstein's death marked a turning point in the global narrative surrounding him. It underscored the complex interplay between law, influence, and public interest, leaving behind unanswered questions and a legacy of controversy that continues to resonate years later. As journalists, legal experts, and investigators continue to explore the story, the arrest, detention, and death of Jeffrey Epstein remain a pivotal moment in modern discussions about accountability, oversight, and the limits of power. After Jeffrey Epstein's death, investigations into his associates, finances, and networks of influence continued, revealing a complex web of connections that spanned finance, politics, and entertainment. Authorities examined documents, flight logs, and financial records to better understand how Epstein operated and who may have been involved in supporting or enabling his actions. Several lawsuits were filed by individuals seeking compensation or clarity regarding settlements and agreements that had previously remained confidential. These legal actions highlighted the challenges of holding powerful individuals accountable and the influence that wealth and privilege can have over legal outcomes. Journalists and media outlets around the world closely followed each development, bringing renewed attention to Epstein's connections and the broader implications of his case. The story prompted wider discussions about systemic issues, including oversight, transparency, and accountability within legal and social systems. Experts and advocacy groups analyzed how such extensive influence could persist unchecked for years and the lessons society could learn from the case. Even years after Epstein's death, new information continues to emerge, demonstrating the far-reaching impact of his actions and the networks he built. The legal and social repercussions of the case continue to unfold, serving as a reminder of the importance of vigilance, investigation, and public scrutiny when dealing with matters of power and influence. Ultimately, the Epstein case illustrates the ongoing struggle to balance justice, transparency, and societal responsibility, showing that the consequences of one individual's actions can resonate long after they are gone. After Jeffrey Epstein's arrest and death, public discussion and speculation spread rapidly around the world. Media outlets, social platforms, and commentators analyzed his life, connections, and the circumstances surrounding his passing. Gaps in information and unusual events created room for questions and debate. People wondered how oversight could fail and why some details remained unclear. Conspiracy theories soon emerged, fueled by unanswered questions and public fascination with power and secrecy. These discussions included speculation about procedural failures and broader networks of influence. The case highlighted global awareness of how wealth and privilege can complicate accountability. It became a symbol of society's struggle to ensure transparency and justice. Journalists and analysts examined not only legal issues, but also social, ethical, and cultural implications. The story prompted reflection on how influence can obscure accountability and the media's role in shaping public perception. Even years later, the Epstein case continues to attract attention, showing that public scrutiny and dialogue persist when a life intersects with global networks of power. The discussions remind us of the importance of critical thinking, awareness, and vigilance in understanding societal systems and the limits of influence. The story of Jeffrey Epstein, from his rise to influence to his controversial death, continues to spark global discussion. It highlights the complex relationship between wealth, influence, and accountability, showing how privilege can complicate justice. Even after his death, investigations and public scrutiny emphasize the need for transparency and oversight. The case reminds society that no one should be beyond examination and encourages reflection on ethical leadership and responsibility. Ultimately, Epstein's life and legacy demonstrate that the consequences of one person's actions can extend far beyond their lifetime. It is a powerful lesson on vigilance, accountability, and the importance of confronting power with integrity and scrutiny.